Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to sift through complex information and bring you the core insights, getting you quickly up to speed.
That's the goal.
Today, we're tackling something that, feels a bit abstract maybe. Hope.
Right. Often feels like just a feeling.
Exactly. But our sources, they paint a very different picture. They show hope as this incredibly practical, powerful force.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack that, get into the nuts and bolts of how it works and really how you can use it, how you can harness that power in your own life.
Yeah, think of it less like a fluffy cloud and more like high-octane fuel for your brain.
Ooh, I like that. Rocket fuel.
Or like a gas booster, maybe. Something that cleans out the gunk in your mental engine. Helps you burn brighter, think clearer.
Okay, mental engine cleaning.
Yeah.
I'm in. So if it's this powerful fuel, where does it come from? How do we, generate it? We looked at a whole mix of stuff, psychology, behavioral science.
Even some philosophy in there. And it pointed to something pretty specific. Hope isn't just wished into existence.
Right. Not just positive thinking.
Not exactly. It seems to emerge when you get new information. Information that offers a potential solution to a problem. And crucially, a solution that feels likely to happen.
So it's like seeing a path where you didn't see one before.
Precisely. And often that path might have technically always been there.
You just couldn't see it.
Yeah, your perspective was limited or you were missing a key piece of data,
Okay, so new info opens a door. What does that actually feel like for someone?
Well, it gives you something to go on, something concrete.
Right.
Something to run towards maybe, something to believe in. And that brings, it can bring peace or even excitement, depending.
That shift from stuckness to momentum.
Exactly. Clarity, direction.
Now, something I found really interesting in the sources, and maybe hadn't quite connected it this way before, is the link between feeling stuck or, say, bored and being unfocused.
Oh, definitely. Boredom is often just unfocused energy, right?
Yeah.
Your brain is saying, give me something to chew on.
And here's the kicker. Without focus, there's no hope. Is that right?
That's what the sources suggest. Because hope needs an objective. It needs that path to run towards we're talking about.
If you're not focused on anything, there's no path.
No visible path, anyway. So, yeah, no focus, no hope.
So if you're feeling kind of adrift, unfocused, what's the fix? The sources had a surprisingly simple answer, didn't they?
Almost too simple, maybe.
Yeah.
To get hope back, you just have to focus and then take action.
On anything.
On literally anything at all.
Even something tiny, like wiping the kitchen counter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously. That simple action, it wakes up your brain. Even wiping a counter takes a little analysis, right?
Huh. Yeah, I guess. You don't want to use the sponge you just wiped raw chicken juice with.
Exactly. See, analysis. It requires you to think just a tiny bit, to plan, to execute. It engages that prefrontal cortex.
It's like a microdose of intentionality.
Perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
It signals to your brain, hey, I can do things. I can make choices and follow through, even small ones.
So that action, that movement, why is that the key to getting hope back? What's it doing upstairs?
It forces you to engage. Movement isn't passive. It makes you think, analyze, focus, even if it's just navigating around the room or, washing a dish.
And that focus, it can spark ideas.
Yes. It breaks the inertia.
Yeah.
That little bit of focus, that small action, it can trigger a thought, which leads to another thought. And suddenly you're building momentum. Your brain realizes it's not powerless.
Okay. And this action, this movement, it just feels good, right? There's an inherent positive emotion.
Generally, yes. Hope itself gives you a good feeling.
Even if the hope is framed negatively, like the example, I hope they don't pull me over for speeding. That sounds negative, but...
But look closely. It's still framed towards the best case scenario happening, isn't it? You're hoping for the positive outcome, not getting caught.
Ah, right. So hope always points towards the positive potential, even when dodging a negative.
Exactly. It reminds you that you have options, even if one option is just avoiding the bad thing. It gives you enough comfort, enough mental space to think things through with that positive result in mind.
Even if the negative is looming large.
Especially then. It's easy to see disaster, right? Our brains are kind of wired for that sometimes.
Threat detection.
Yep. What hope does, and this takes focus, is it helps you see the positive potential through the fire of potential disaster. It's about giving, let's say, equal weight to the good outcome.
Which requires that focus we keep coming back to.
Always focus. You need it to consciously look for the positive pathway when the negative one seems so obvious. With practice, it gets easier, more automatic.
Okay, this leads to a really interesting, maybe slightly edgy idea from the sources. The idea of manufacturing hope.
Yeah, that word manufacturing sounds a bit artificial, maybe?
A little bit. Like, can you really just make hope?
Yeah.
The example they used was buying a lottery ticket.
Right. The lottery ticket. You buy it knowing the odds are astronomical, right? Almost zero chance of winning the big one. Vanishingly small.
But buying that ticket creates a possibility. It's tiny, sure, but it's not zero anymore. You could win.
And the sources argued the real win isn't the money.
Not usually, no. The real win is the hope you get to feel before the draw happens.
Oh.
In that time between buying the ticket and finding out you lost, you have this licensed permission to dream. What would you do with all that money?
And that dreaming, that fantasy, it actually does something useful.
Apparently, yes. It can kind of unlock your mind's boundaries. If you're stressed about money, always thinking lack, lack, lack. This forces you, just for a bit, to look completely outside that box.
To see a possibility of a totally different reality.
Exactly. It breaks that pessimistic thought pattern, even temporarily. It shows your brain there are other options, other potential futures, however unlikely.
Wow. So even if the ticket ends up being worthless?
You still got the benefit. You were running on the hope you could win right up until the moment you realized you didn't. So, you see?
It's not the ticket itself. It's you. The ticket was just the catalyst, the excuse your brain needed to allow itself to hope for something radically different.
That completely reframes things like the lottery. Okay, so stepping back from lottery tickets,
Right.
how does this translate into hope as a day-to-day tool? The sources called it fuel for,
Right.
well, everything. Drive, motivation.
Antidepressant qualities,
Yeah.
confidence, the list goes on.
So how does it fuel those things?
Well, think about being stuck in a negative thought loop. Maybe something like, nobody loves me. It's a heavy thought.
Yeah.
Hope can act as a counter-argument.
Yeah.
It nudges you towards competing thoughts. It allows the thought, okay, but maybe I could change something. Maybe I could change the outcome.
Like what?
Like, well, what if I put myself out there more? What if I tried to find better friends, people who are actually good for me? What if I focused on my health, maybe? It opens the door to action.
Action again.
Yeah.
And that action might lead to realizing, hey, maybe to get love, I need to give love or offer something valuable to others.
Precisely. It shifts from passive despair to active possibility. And this isn't just wishful thinking, remember.
Right. It's built on something more solid.
Yes. Hope, in this framework, is the result of awareness, maybe some inspiration, and a reasonable expectation of success based on, well, focus, knowledge, maybe some wisdom you've gained.
So it's an active process. You build hope through awareness and expectation, fueled by focus and knowledge.
You got it. Which means if you want to keep hope alive,
You got to keep learning, keep adapting.
absolutely, always learning, always gathering new information so you can see new paths when the old ones get blocked. Life throws curveballs, right? Paths get littered with inconveniences, setbacks.
But if you're aware, if you're looking,
Those same paths are also littered with opportunities. Opposite and equal potentials for success, for growth, for the best case scenario. You just need the hope, fueled by focus, to see them.
so hurt becomes this tool to keep thinking positively, or at least neutrally, so you're not blinded to the good stuff by all the negative evidence piling up.
Exactly. It keeps your eyes open to positive outcomes, even when things look grim.
Okay, we've talked a lot about what hope is, why it's important, where it comes from new info, focus, action. Let's get really practical now. How do we actively stimulate hope? What did the sources say we can actually do?
Well, education and awareness are big ones, obviously. Learning new things opens possibilities.
Makes sense.
And yeah, okay, buying that lottery ticket, maybe strategically,
As a mental exercise.
as a way to consciously inject possibility. Or, more broadly, just putting your hat in the ring for anything.
Yeah.
Applying for a job, asking someone out, submitting an idea.
Taking a chance, creating a possibility through action.
Exactly. And a huge piece of this, especially relevant today maybe, is connection, social interaction.
How does that fit in?
Well, if you stay isolated too long, but what you really want is connection, it's incredibly hard to feel hopeful about finding it
Right.
because there's just no opportunity.
You're closing off the possibility by default.
Right. But
Yeah.
if you just get out there,
Yeah.
interact with people, even superficially at first,
You immediately create hope.
instantly, hope that one of those interactions might lead somewhere. A great friend, maybe love, a business partner, or just hope that someone will hear your story, your ideas, and connect with them. The potential is created by the interaction itself.
That's really powerful. Just showing up creates hope.
It really is.
Hmm.
Which leads to the big takeaway, I think.
Yeah.
Hope isn't really external.
Yeah.
It's driven by your attitude, sure, but mostly by your actions and how you choose to perceive things. Your perceptions create your reality, in a way.
It can pry your mind out of the gutter, as they say.
It can. And the really fantastic news is
It's renewable.
totally renewable. You can generate it again and again just by shifting your focus, taking small actions, staying open to new information and connections.
So we've really unpacked hope today. It's not passive wishing, it's active. It's tied to our internal drive, our focus, our willingness to act and perceive possibilities.
A powerful tool just waiting to be used.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, here's something for you, our listener, to think about. If hope is this internal renewable resource powered by your attitude and actions, what's one simple, maybe even tiny action you could take right now, today, to spark just a flicker of hope in an area of your life where you might feel a bit stuck?
Something to chew on.
Definitely. We hope this deep dive has given you some fuel for thought and maybe, just maybe, helped you see a new path forward.